10 on Your Side is digging for answers surrounding the death of a Chesapeake police officer.
Officer Timothy Schock died during dive training in December. The Chesapeake police chief said that Officer Schock's equipment failed, causing his death. Tonight, 10 on Your Side's Melanie Woodrow spoke exclusively with the manufacturer's president and engineer. Both say the police chief's claims don't add up. Melanie?
Alveda and Tom, Ziegel Dive Systems sells their equipment to police departments, military units, and commercial divers. The company's president and engineer both tell me that they've never heard of equipment failures like this, and they didn't hear about it from the Chesapeake Police Department. Not after Officer Schock's death, and not after 12 pieces of Ziegel Dive Systems equipment allegedly failed testing. Ziegel Dive Systems engineer says when Officer Timothy Schock realized his power inflator was broken, he should have aborted a training dive.
One of about 5 or 6 things that started this whole snowball.
Engineer Jim Fox also says how it broke is not as much of an issue as the fact that it was not serviced or replaced by a certified technician.
Who knows, maybe that inflator isn't even ours. That one in the picture is one of several different types that was available to manufacturers back in the last millennium.
Underwater, seemingly without a way to surface, Officer Schock, according to Chesapeake Police Chief Wright, tried to drop his weights, but his ripcord also failed. Chief Wright said after his death, 12 other ripcords failed during testing. Impossible, says Ziegel Dive Systems engineer.
What? 12 would fail? And what was the test?
Chesapeake Police have not said who tested them. Ziegel Dive Systems president had this possible explanation.
Sometimes people modify the ripcord system too.
Chesapeake Police Chief Wright has said the department did not have their dive equipment serviced, maintained, repaired, or replaced by a certified technician. Ziegel Dive Systems president says it's possible therein lies the problem. Today, the Chesapeake Police Department told 10 on Your Side Officer Schock had on a dry suit. Ziegel Dive Systems engineer says that is significant.
All he needed to do was, instead of uselessly trying to get it into the BC, hit the inflator on his dry suit. And the same buoyancy would have been produced by his dry suit.
An alternative Chesapeake Police have not talked about yet.
And they're trying to throw the blame somewhere else. If you were a fly on the wall in their office, they're going, well, we can only imagine what they're saying.
One other note that we found curious, a Chesapeake police officer who identified himself as Justin Tyndall called today so that he could get me my email address, to send answers to some follow-up questions for this story. Those answers, as you can see, came in on Chesapeake Police letterhead. But when I asked him who gave these answers, Officer Tyndall told me that he was instructed not to tell me. Was it Police Chief Wright? Was it somebody else? Whoever it was does not want his or her name associated with these answers.
Interesting.
It is interesting. All right. Thank you.